Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So today's question is, what is the universe giving you? So this is what the universe is giving to you at this moment in time, and if you feel it's not so much the universe but spirit, angels, gods, goddesses, whatever, however you express your spirituality, you know, this is how it's all being manifesting for you. This is what the world is trying to offer you in order for you to grow and become abundant. It might not be necessarily very clear to you, and some of you might even be rejecting it, but this is what's on offer for you at this time. So remember, as always, that this is a very generalized reading and not all of it will resonate with you, and you need to just take what makes sense to you and what you feel you can apply to your own personal situation and leave the rest aside. So we have option 1, 2 and 3. I'll put the timestamps to these 3 options in the description box and the comment section. In the description box you will also find all of the information that you need to contact me if you want a private reading, follow me on Instagram and all the rest of it. Just look in the description box. Now I want you to focus on the question. What is the universe trying to give you at the moment? What's it offering to you? Close your eyes, meditate on the question, take a few deep breaths and then make your choice. Don't doubt yourself, don't think there's a better choice, just trust your first instinct. If you need a bit more time to do that in the quiet, then please press pause, because I'm now going to be moving on to the first reading. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, this is your reading. So what is the universe giving you at the moment? We have the 8 of Spring, the Lovers, and the 6 of Spring. We also have Beauty's Truth and the Littlest Fairy. So quite nice and clear to me. The universe at this time really is trying to give you something sudden, a sudden event or change. I don't feel that, you know, if you feel that you're really stressed out because there's just so much happening at once, it's trying to teach you how to multitask, how to deal with lots of different things happening at the same time. And that's a fact of life, unfortunately. Sometimes things are nice and quiet, relaxed, steady, things, you know, nothing goes wrong. And then all of a sudden, everything goes wrong at the same time. All of your, you know, like your washing machine and your tumble dryer and your dishwasher, they all break down at the same time. The car needs repairs, there's a big bill, and you're thinking, why now? You know, it's just to teach you how to deal with stress and things going wrong. If you're the sort of person that always wants everything to go your way, or the way that you feel comfortable with, you know, you can sort of accept things not going exactly the way you want them, but you want them to be damn near how you want it. And if that's, you know, you're not getting what you want and how you want it, you're meant to learn this. You're meant to learn to deal with disappointment. You know, there might be sudden events or changes coming towards you very soon, or happening in your life now, and you've got to learn to deal with it. You know, maybe in your future your life will be a bit, you know, there might be a bit of instability, or you might end up with somebody that is very different to you and leads a different sort of life, and therefore will bring a certain level of change and sudden events to it, and you're being prepared in advance, really. This is a bit of a practice run for you, because we've got the Lovers. True love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. So yes, for some of you, you know, the universe is gifting you a partner. It can be a romantic partner, it can be the perfect partner if your focus is on your career, like you'll find the best business partner, or a co-worker, or even a really, really great friend that will be your friend for life, a best friend. But also the universe is trying to give you a choice made from the heart, and that's really what the Lovers is symbolic of. Making a choice from the heart to commit to something. So you're being given the gift of commitment. Either your commitment to something else, or someone else, or their commitment to you. Others of you where you feel that it's resonating, that you've not been very well, you know, you're being gifted with good health, which is lovely. But I feel that this is really, really symbolic of that there is some sort of union. Even if it's self-union, as in union with yourself. You know, it's about loving yourself just as much as loving someone else and being loved by someone else. About unifying all of yourself into one. So if you felt a bit torn or divided, or that you don't accept every aspect of yourself, you're being given the gift now of loving yourself. I mean, it could be that this age of spring, this feeling of being torn, is about being torn with all the aspects of yourself that you can't accept. But you do need to accept all parts of yourself. They're also giving you the gift of success. This is wonderful. So if you've been really working hard at something, slogging away, and there hasn't been much reward, soon enough, in the near future, you're going to find the success that you want. Wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success and public recognition. This is literally sort of, you know, your boss saying, do you know, you've been working really, really hard. I'm going to give you a bonus, or I'm going to put you up for promotion, or, you know, a pay increase, you know, if it's your yearly review. Or that you, in terms of meeting someone else, you might have been working really, really hard on your appearance, about being a nice and attractive person. You're just going to start getting the attention that you've been looking for. Smart choices that bring rewards. And remember what I said, choices made from the heart. So you're being encouraged to make a choice based on what you feel in your heart. So if you've been doing something that deep down isn't making you very happy, and you wish you were doing something else, you're going to be given the opportunity to follow your heart, and when you do, you will be given a reward of success. Now we're given also the beauty's truth, beauty, physical pleasure, sensuality, and the littlest fairy. Appreciate the beauty and value of the exquisite and small. So I think for a lot of you, what you're being given isn't anything necessarily very big. It could be just something, you know, dainty and small and cute. But you're being given the gift of appreciating it. So you're not going to be disappointed. You might be thinking, well, I want to win millions on the lottery, but you end up just winning a small amount back, perhaps enough for a meal. You're going to be happy with it. You might be, you know, of course, who doesn't want to win the jackpot, but you're going to be happy. So whatever's coming forward to you, and for some of you, this could be representative of a lover. If you're anticipating a particular type of person, or you've always been attracted to a certain type of person, the new love that comes to you might be completely different to the sort that you've been out with previously, been attracted to previously. And this gift of love, you know, it might be a small love, rather than an epic and grand one, but it's a gift that's being given to you. And I think it's to teach you to find value in everything, even the smallest of things. This is about seeing the beauty in everything, the truth of beauty, you know, the truth of inner beauty versus external beauty. So some of you might meet somebody that doesn't necessarily meet your physical ideal, but they're just lovely, and you can see that their inner beauty shines out. And you're attracted to that, or you value it. And this is what you're meant to learn, to value beauty in all of its forms. You literally might meet someone that's quite dainty and cute, and you're like, oh, that's so lovely. You know, and you're meant to realise that there's something that is smaller than you expect, and you're meant to truly appreciate it. And for some of you, you're meant to connect with it on quite a reasonably deep level, and it's going to bring you success. And I think that the success comes from seeing the value in everything and everyone, and realizing that there is beauty in everything that you hadn't previously seen beauty in. I mean, she's looking at the butterfly and going, oh, how beautiful, how wonderful. But there are some very unattractive insects that are just as important as the butterfly. They're just not as pretty to look at. You know, the mushrooms are both there. She's leaning forward, you know, the gorgeous butterfly matches her wings. And that yet, is she looking at this littlest fairy that's stuck tiny on the same sort of mushroom with tiny wings? And is she thinking, gosh, isn't she beautiful? See, some of you are really going to be distracted by this different new beauty, and it's going to be, I feel, a distraction from what you previously thought of as beautiful. So if you're looking for love, I think the love that you find is not going to be what you expect it to be. And for a lot of you, you're not going to be disappointed. You're in fact going to be very, very happy. And I think it's because it's a choice made from the heart rather than a choice made from the eyes. And being smart about it will bring you your greatest reward. So that's the gift I feel that the universe is giving you, those of you that chose option 1. I feel actually it's a very much a beautiful gift, a gift of recognising true beauty and possibly even love, recognising true love. You might feel overwhelmed at first, but that's okay. You're meant to learn to deal with it. You know, when you first start something out, it's really scary, it's too difficult, you can't do it. And then after you've been doing it for a while, like in a new job, you suddenly look back and think, why did I ever think that was difficult? It's a piece of cake. And that's what you're meant to learn, that all challenges seem immense before you've started them and seem small once you've finished them. Maybe that's symbolic for you, that's the thing that you're meant to see, that things are smaller than you build them up to be in your mind. Some of you might build things up in your mind so they're bigger and bigger and bigger than they are, and then you suddenly deal with it and you look back and you think, oh, actually that was quite sweet and small and I didn't have anything to worry about at all. So please let me know in the comments section if this resonates with you. If you would like a private reading with me, then you can contact me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. All the details are in the description box. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2, this is your reading. What is the universe trying to give you at this moment in time? Princess of Autumn, studious, responsible, cheerful and mischievous. The Chariot. 5 of Autumn. Solace. And Follow Me. Okay then. Okay, so I think overall with this message, it looks to me that a lot of people are investing a lot of themselves and their time and their intelligence and their resources in something that isn't giving them what they deserve. It's not paying itself back, you know. It's like working on a business and believing the business is going to work, and it's just not paying back your investment. And the universe is giving you this gift of saying it's time to leave it. You've tried that, it was great, but now leave it. Because we've got happy news about your career, promotions or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. Some of you have an instinct about something new and you're not following that instinct. So some of you want to start a new business, but you're working in a dead-end job or something like that, that you're just not pursuing a passion, and the universe is giving you a gift of telling you to follow that passion. And I feel that's coming from money issues. So some of you are really struggling for cash, that money's not paying, you know, work isn't paying what it should, because the universe wants you to stop wasting your time on what you are doing and instead following your passion, your drive. So something that deep in your soul you feel is what you're meant to be doing. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. Some of you, are hiding your light under a bushel, and you're doing something that's okay, but you're not doing something that you're brilliant at. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. So some of you really have something like, you've always thought, well, if I had money to do this business, I would do this, this and this. And you've just got a great idea, a great business plan, or plan to move, or a holiday plan, a plan of travel itinerary, and you're not doing anything with it. And I feel that with this, things are just going wrong. The things aren't going the way they should. You're in want of something, whether it's financial or feeling a bit depressed. You're in want, and it's because the universe wants you to get on the chariot and move forward to do what you're meant to be doing. They want you to dedicate yourself and be self-disciplined to follow something. It's like if you've got a normal everyday job, but you've always wanted to write a novel, or go and sing your own music in a bar, and you sort of made steps and you sort of worked out how you can do it, and you've plotted out the novel or something, and then you've not typed any of it up. You've not actually sat there for a bit of time every evening to sit there and get it done, chipping away at it. It's not saying get it all done in 24 hours, it's just saying working on it. And you haven't. You've sort of get home, cook the tea, eat it, settle down, watch some TV, and then suddenly it's bedtime. And you think, oh, I never did that writing that I was supposed to do. Or like if you dedicate a few hours of the weekend, someone calls you up, says, do you want to do this? You do the other thing instead. Instead of sitting there and saying, no, I'm going to write my novel for the next 3 hours, leave me alone. They call up and say, do you want to go to the cinema, or do you want to go off and just meet me up for a coffee? You go, yeah, sure. So you're sort of diverting your attentions. Reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. I feel that it's more the money issues rather than the poor timing for a career change, because the cards, the chariot says to move on, to be accomplished. So some of you, the universe might be gifting you with the ability to reach out to others. So you might have suddenly come in contact with somebody who will be perfect for this new idea, this new career, possibly. Or you're feeling challenged by money issues because you aren't earning enough to, live, just live. It's not about living in luxury. You're not possibly just earning enough to live, and you haven't got any spare cash or resources to invest in your other thing. And I think the universe is gifting you with that sort of sense of want to encourage you to reach out to others in order to make connections, to get support for your plan, to force you to seek investment, to realise the value of you and what you're doing. Return to nature, tree wisdom, natural remedies and flower essences. I feel this is a return to nature. Some of you are doing something that's against your nature. By that I mean is you're working a boring job, or living in a city that doesn't offer you all the opportunities that you need it to. Or even so, a city that doesn't have the facilities that you need. Like if you're really, really sporty, you need to live in a city that has excellent sports facilities, or a theatre, or an excellent cinema, or a great community where people can go gigging in pubs and clubs and stuff, and you get to listen to great music. Others of you have a plan for a business or a new career, and where you are it just isn't working. But I feel like it's a return to nature is you're not living in your own true nature. You're perhaps living, working in a way that pleases others and not yourself. And so the universe wants to gift you with the opportunity to move on. Follow me, come, this is your invitation to enter the realm of fairy. I feel that this is an invitation for you to leave where you are now and move on. We've got follow me and the chariot, which is get in your car and drive. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. Some of you are really just not showing off what you can do. and you're not dedicated enough into what you want to do. And the universe is saying you're not going to do that where you are. Maybe it's too comfortable and easy for you, and you're just retreating into yourself, and you're not, being out enough, because we've got mixtures of being in want and yet also being successful. So some of you are successful, but it doesn't make you happy. And the universe is there to teach you that it's not about economic success. And I'm relying on that because of the autumn, which is Pentacles. So that's money, resources, assets. And it's saying, yeah, we've given you all that, and now do you see that it just doesn't make you happy? So come on, move on. Let's get in your car and move on to the next lesson. Or it's gifting you with the knowledge that money isn't everything, that it's what's inside that counts. That moment of solace where she's gone inside herself and she's thinking and pondering, going back to just the core basics. It wants you to follow it into the next cycle of your life. So if you're feeling that this phase in your life is over, but you're not sure what to do next because this has been perhaps for some of you financially lucrative, and it's only now that it's stopping being financially lucrative. Maybe work offers have dried up, or you're seeing that you're not at the top of the pile. You might be getting work, but it's not the kind of work that you want. It's time to move on from what you were doing to something else. And I do feel this is very work-based rather than relationship-based. However, if it is relationship-based, and this all resonates in terms of your relationship rather than a career, it's the same message. It's time to move on. This is the gift that the universe is trying to give you at the moment. You're learning a lesson, but you're sort of at the point where you're finishing learning it. And now it's time to move on, because sometimes you need to move on and look back and think and finally get the final piece of the lesson, and you can't see it until it's a couple of years later and you look back. It's like having a bad relationship, and it's a bad relationship, and then you leave it, and it's not until a few years later when you're more your own person, or you've had a few successful relationships, and you look back and you think, oh my goodness, what was I doing with that person? It was so unhealthy, and all the rest of it. But you can't see it while you're in the midst of it. So for some of you, it's just time to move on. That's an interesting one with lots of different sort of aspects to it. So please let me know in the comment section if it resonates with you or not. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. All of the information you need is in the description box. Otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. What is the universe trying to gift you at the moment? We have the 7 of Spring, 6 of Summer, 3 of Autumn. I only wanted 2 of these cards, but 3 came out, so you've got an extra one here. And we've got the Merlin, Catch Me, and Midnight Prince. Okay, overall this message is telling me that the universe is gifting you, a lot of you, with a second chance. And the rest of you, where this is clearly you're young enough for it to be your first chance, they're trying to tell you, offer you the gift of not missing out on it. We've got the 7 of Spring. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. So a lot of you are undergoing a lot of pressure to give up what you want to do. Maybe what you want to do is restarting your life, like starting a new career, ending a relationship and starting off again as a single person, or moving from where you are to somewhere else. You want a fresh start, and you've got to stand up for yourself. or that there's just something that's happening in your life, and you absolutely believe in one option, and everybody else, you're option A, everybody else is option B, and you've got to really stand up for yourself. And this is why this is happening. The universe wants you to stand up for yourself, to have that self-belief that you are right and what you want for your own life, or for a shared life, is the right one. We want you to be courageous. That's what it's gifting you at the moment. Courage. Six of Summer. Children or childhood. The return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently, in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. Yeah, there's a bit of a nostalgia element to this. Is the Six of Cups, and sometimes it's about looking at the past with rose-tinted glasses, and sometimes it's looking back at the past and seeing it as considerably worse than it was. That you had like a terrible childhood, whereas in fact it was quite average. It just wasn't the childhood that you would have chosen for yourself. And that's the trouble with childhood. You don't have a childhood that you choose for yourself. You have the childhood that our parents inflict on us. And I feel that this sort of being assertive is connected to children, either your children or your own childhood. So for some of you, if you're older and you've got sort of grown-up-ish kids, you're standing against them, and I feel it's that the universe is gifting you at the moment the ability to say to them that this is what you want. If your children are pressurising you to do what's best for them, whereas you're recognising that now you can afford to be thinking of yourself. Because being a parent often requires you to be completely selfless. That you don't do things for your own personal benefit, you do things that are to the benefit of the kids, for their own personal security, and so you can raise them properly and provide for them properly. But I feel that with this reading there might be a point where you've got to now think differently about what the life you're giving them and the life you're giving for yourself. Because even if it's remembering, it might be that you see events differently at this time. They might be looking back at the past and seeing no issues because you made sure they had no idea how tough it was. But this is what you've got to stand up for, for where you say, actually, it wasn't like that. I made sure that you didn't see the worst, as you should. That's what a good parent does. Well, there's of you where you're like, no, I'm no way I'm old enough to have kids. I think this is more referring to your youth and thinking about your past and your childhood differently. That you might look back and say you had the idyllic childhood, but the reality is that your parents sort of didn't, shielded you. And the other way around, that some of you might have had a terrible childhood and you're looking back and your parents say, well, actually, it wasn't quite like that. Or the fact that you might learn more about your family, your parents, and you look back and think, well, now I'm an adult, I see things differently, and I don't see them through a child's eyes anymore. I see them through a grown-up's eyes, and I can see things differently. But I feel it's something definitely to do with the past, childhood, or just the past. And you're either standing up to the past in a positive way of, I'm not going to let the past control me, it was terrible, I had a bad foundation in life and it's terrible, but I'm going to stand up to it, and I'm going to stand up for the kind of life that I want. And whether that's through missed opportunities, like you didn't pursue the career that you wanted to. You might be looking back and listening, thinking that I listened to my parents and I should have followed my heart, and I didn't. I listened to my parents, and now this is my second chance. Because we've got follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. I do feel that for a lot of you, and I genuinely feel that actually the majority of the viewers for option 3 are going to be older, and this is like your second chance at your dream career, or following a dream, or just your second chance if you got married quite young and had kids, that they're now old enough to be going off in the world on their own and going to university, and now it's your chance. And they might be sort of, what? I didn't expect you to want to do that. And you're like, no, this is my chance. and you can follow your passion. So if you've done a job that didn't make you happy but paid for their, you know, survival, and you don't need to financially support them anymore, you can follow your passion and start off again. It doesn't matter. It's never too late. It's too late when you're dead. It's never too late to learn new skills and follow your dreams. And I think that a lot of you are actually going to be really quite talented at it, because it's be the best at what you do. Put all of your efforts into it, and you'll get the rewards. I just feel the universe for a lot of you is giving you an opportunity to follow your dreams. And for most of you, I sense that it's that you're older and this is your second chance. And the last time you had it, you were sort of in your late teens or something, or even younger. And for those of you that are that sort of late teens, early 20s, or even younger, this is telling you that you've got to stand your ground and be prepared to work at it and follow your passion, because you don't want to be the person in their late 30s, early 40s looking back and saying, why didn't I pursue my dreams? You know, why didn't I do it? Do it now. If it doesn't pan out, it's much better to find out at 25 that it's not going to work out, and that you can then have your backup plan at 25 or 30 and start off again, you know, at that younger age, than to never pursue it at all and then sort of you know, go back when you're much older. You know, it's better to do it all when you're younger and you have considerably less responsibility. That's my wisdom, and maybe that's representative of me, the Merlin. Guidance, mentorship, teacher of the old ways. The universe is gifting you with a mentor. Somebody is going to say, you know, don't blow it. But others as well, for some of you, I think you might be going back to school. You might be finding a mentor, somebody that's going to teach you how to do these things. Somebody that's going to teach you, you know, if you go back to school and get a degree, you know, it's representative of going back and getting guidance from somebody being your tutor. Yeah, some of you are really going to get, you know, or that there's just going to be somebody in your life that you can turn to that's going to come and say, share their wisdom. So this is what my experience was. And by listening to them, you will not repeat their mistakes. You'll make your own fresh, brand new ones, but that's all right. You won't make their mistakes, and in time you will share your knowledge and encourage those that come after you not to make both your mistakes and their mistakes, and so on. And that's how we accumulate knowledge. Catch me. Trust, surrender, leap of faith into the unknown. You're really being offered the chance to start again, to just do it. To surrender to what you really want, to trust that it's going to work out, that somehow the jigsaw pieces will fit together and you will be left with the complete picture. Leap of faith into the unknown. You don't know what's going to be happening in the future, but you still got to do it anyway. And that's what your gift is from the universe, to have the courage to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to jump. We've got the Midnight Prince. Ask for what you want, be honest. It's giving you the gift to say, the universe is saying to you, ask for what you want then. If it's not impossible, you'll get it. If it is impossible, you'll have to work harder for it. You know, that generally, if what we ask for and what we want and what we work for is achievable, you know, generally the support falls into place, you know, whether it's other people or things just happening for you, or that you open your eyes and your mind more and see greater opportunities, more opportunities than you ever saw before. You know, like if you're looking for something practical like funding for a project, you suddenly start noticing application forms for funding, and you just think, right, I'm just going to do it. Doesn't matter if they say no, I'm just going to blanket apply to every bit of money I can get in order to support this project or this new education, or, you know, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. But you've got to ask for what you want. You've got to ask first. You've got to say, you know what, I want to do this and I'm going to do that, but can you help me? And be honest about it. Be honest. Don't lie to anyone. And when they say, oh, at your age, why are you doing that? Because I want to, and I never had the chance before, and then I did this, that and the other, and then all these things happened, and I suddenly reached this age and thought I never pursued my dream. I never did what I wanted when I was a kid, and this is my opportunity and I want to do it. And people do respect honesty. They might not always necessarily agree and say, oh, they might come forward and say, I can't support that. that's okay, but they always usually respect honesty, where you come and say, this is why, this is what I want, this is why I want it, and I'm going to do it. And usually there is a respect for those that say, I'm unhappy where I am and I'm going to change it. Because so many people settle down and accept a substandard life, a boring life, a life that doesn't satisfy them, because it's easier to stay where they are, the path of least resistance. It's easier to stay where they are than to do the hard work of moving. But I feel that a lot of you here are ready to move, are ready to fight for what you want, are ready to kick it and say, I'm not staying here anymore, I'm moving on. And the universe is giving you that kick up the bum to say, yeah, you want it, you're being honest about why you want it, and you're seeing, and I feel there's a lot of seeing things clearly, maybe for the first time for some of you, about seeing the past clearly, or at least being perhaps open to seeing it clearly, whereas you weren't before, and working for it. And the universe is going to reward that honesty by, in a sense, gifting you the ability to start again in whatever aspect of your life this reading resonates with. It really wants you, the universe wants you to succeed, and it wants you to have faith in it, and being ready to just sort of leap forward and trust that everything will be okay. So that's what the universe is gifting you at this time, those of you that chose option 3. Please let me know in the comments section if it resonates, if it makes any sense to you. If you would like to book a private reading with me, my email address is oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. All the information you need is in the description box. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. And thank you very much for listening to me. Bye.